Hello! I'm working on some clothing for my gig tomorrow, ironing shirts and stuff, wardrobe, you know, and that made me think of a particular Christmas story. So, one Christmas season, I was traveling with my one-man show, Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, and I had skipped church on a Sunday morning because of a heavy travel schedule. And I was flying down the road with a cup of coffee in my hand and munching on some white powdered donuts that I had bought at the gas station and feeling a little guilty that I had skipped church. In the back seat of my car was my fabulous Charles Dickens outfit. You should see the top coat. It is sewn from 21 different pieces with brown velvet lapels. And the crowning accessory is my 6.5-inch pecan-colored grosgrain ribbon-trimmed top hat. It was way in the back of the car, away from those powdered donuts. Well, I pulled up to a red light in Greenville, South Carolina, about 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning. And while I'm sitting at the red light, I notice there's the rescue mission right across the street from me. And into my field of vision walks a man. You shouldn't assume, but I dare say I'm correct in assuming that he was homeless. He was dressed in several layers of dirty, raggedy clothes. But on his head was a 6.5-inch pecan-colored grosgrain ribbon-trimmed top hat. I instinctively looked in the back seat to see if the crowning accessory of my costume had been nicked. It had not, but I was very intrigued, and I thought, let us turn aside and see this thing which has come to pass. So when the light changed, instead of going on, I turned into the rescue mission parking lot, Triune Ministries in Greenville, South Carolina, on Stone Avenue, if you're ever there. And I quickly jumped out of the car, ran around to the front of the church. A greeter handed me a bulletin, and I ran inside and started to scan the crowd that was gathering, looking for this fellow in this top hat. I wanted to know. I had to find out. Where did he get it? How in the world did he have such a thing? I just slipped into a pew and sat down next to a woman and started with, "Excuse me, is this your home church?" And she says to me, "Oh, no, this is not my church. I volunteer here sometimes, but I actually go to church across town. But many Sundays, I come here for an early service, and then I go to my own church later in the day for another service." And I said, "You go to church twice on Sunday? First this church and then another one? Why?" And she looks at me and she says, "Because here, it doesn't matter who you know, or what kind of car you drive, or how you're dressed. Nobody is here trying to impress somebody else. Here, it is all about spirit." I couldn't stay for the service. The service wasn't due to start for another hour or so. The homeless were just coming into the sanctuary to listen to the beautiful organ music and get warm. So I stood up and I said, "I have to go." She said, "I wish you could stay." And I replied with, "Oh, I've already received a blessing and a lesson," thinking of how I might be a little bit over proud of my 6.5-inch pecan-colored grosgrain ribbon-trimmed top hat. I reached in my pocket and took out a $20 bill and handed it to her and said, "Would you please put this in the offering basket for me?" And she said, "Why?" And I said, "Think of it as a hat."